Ayan na. We are going live soon.
Okay.
Setting up. Luminaire shared the post on Designer. We are live in
Teka,
5,
wait.
4, 3, 2. Okay, are you ready, Sheldon?
I'm ready. Yes.
Okay, that's great. So, wait, let me set up here in, I'll just do a watch party. Okay, I'll do a watch party. Okay. Start. Okay, then for our here. Are you ready? We're live.
Yeah.
Okay. Good evening to all our live viewers. Good evening to all our live viewers at theofficedesigner.com. We are now live and we are discussing about UVC air disinfection. Okay, so we have here our guest, which is also our CTO, Mr. Sheldon Ruiz. Okay, he is formerly a principal engineer, R&D engineer of 3M. Okay, so he did a lot of patented products for lighting, for acoustics. You know, he's been a researcher with the National University of Singapore for quite a number of years. Okay, so Sheldon, do you want to introduce more of yourself?
Yeah, I'm Sheldon Ruiz. I've been in this research for 20 years plus. I've been in my background is really electronics, hardware, software, but I went through materials, acoustics, optics, and thermodynamics.
Oh,
So
great,
basically, yeah,
very impressive. So you, I believe you got some awards in the past and some approved patents, right?
yeah, multiple patents around corporate, mostly corporate patents.
Yeah, so I believe you should know a lot of, things about UVC, ultraviolet irradiation and stuff. So how's everything? How is your circuit breaker going?
Oh no, no, it's very busy. Actually, this is my seventh meeting today, and I
Mhm.
still have another meeting tonight. It was a very busy day,
Oh,
and I
great.
don't know. Yeah, I haven't even had my lunch.
Yeah, sorry to disturb you, but
No
I
problem,
think
no problem.
now we have to learn more. We have a lot
Yeah,
of what do you call this? We have a lot of viewers who wanted to know more about UVC air disinfection.
yes,
Okay,
yeah,
so let's start.
sure.
Okay, so I think it's best if we start about. Let me share the PowerPoints that you showed me. Okay, so let's start about air disinfection. Okay, let's talk about UVC air disinfection. Can you give our viewers a brief introduction of the power of UV and its benefits?
UV itself is it's a spectrum in the light that can change the DNA of pathogens, virus, bacteria, and E. coli. So all these kind of harmful microorganisms are that we cannot see. They are mostly affected by UVC. Even people like us are also affected, but they're mostly more affected. So what happens to these microorganisms is like when they're being a certain dosage of this UVC will change their DNA not to reproduce, and the lifespan of all these microorganisms is very short. That they will just unable to will not be able to reproduce afterwards. So in the end, they will just die. So UVC actually it's a very old technology. It has been used for decades now, and so we're looking into a UVC that can protect us uh, 24 hours. Not really on UVC for disinfecting the surfaces, but really to disinfect the air, because actually air plays a lot. The COVID-19, it's mostly due to aerosols and airs around us. So
Yes, yes,
yes,
yeah. Okay, great. So I know there are three types of UVC, right? UVA, UVB, and UVC. So can you
uh,
just give a description about each UVA, UVB, and UVC? Just a brief one, so our
okay.
viewers can roughly understand.
Yes, I don't have the numbers. I didn't really memorize all this spectrum, but normally UVC is around 200. I mean, it's about 200 to 280 nanometer, and 280 to 300 plus is UVB, and UVA is 400 plus, in that range. So um, A and mostly this A and B is one is B is I think is I mean harmful to us, to our skin, and but we're not looking into that kind of
Yeah.
um,
So
spectrum.
UVA is the one that is hitting us almost on a daily basis, I think. Then maybe UVB is something that is filtered, and UVC, it's filtered in our atmosphere, so it doesn't really reach us. So that means it doesn't really harm our skin and our eyes, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
yeah, I think that is more of a best explanation. Okay, just for the viewers, no, I mean, me and Sheldon, actually, we are working on this product since February 27. It's called the Luminaire. So to all you watching, you know, we are involved in this product, as an architect myself. Actually, it's our way of giving back. I mean, we cannot do ventilators, we cannot do masks. So as an architect, as an interior designer, or in the built environment speciality, our role is to find ways and means, okay, to try to fight or to combat the COVID-19 virus through our way of disinfection. So during my career as a designer, as an architect, actually, I've encountered a lot of indoor spaces, and the most common misconception is they always forget about indoor air quality. So indoor air quality is very, very important. It's the air we breathe, and actually, it's easy for us to get sick if ever our indoor air quality is very bad. That's why there is called an SBS, or a sick building syndrome. Especially on the old buildings where all their ductings, all their HVAC systems are not properly installed. Okay, so we embarked in this project. We call it the Luminaire. Later, probably I can discuss further on that. You know, so the brains actually behind the science of UVC is Sheldon. Okay, he's our CTO. He does all the testing. He does all the calculations. He's just usually scientists are like that. They're they're shy. It's good that I was able to bring Sheldon in, because I told him that you need to show up even though you're shy, is because you know technically you are strong in this aspect. Okay, so let's from besides UVC. So we're talking about UVC air disinfection. to improve indoor air quality, right? So this is our
Yes.
topic for today. So I believe there's a methodology or there's a process for UVC air disinfection, because there are other disinfection methods like surface disinfection and water disinfection and air disinfection. So even air disinfection, there are different types of air disinfection, which is called the upper air disinfection and the overhead air disinfection. I think for us, we are mostly a combination of upper air and overhead. Okay, let's not talk about surface disinfection. I think most of the people know about surface disinfection already. It's what you see mostly. That's the most common one, you know, with the robots that goes around with the blue light and stuff, you know, or probably a wand, okay, that you put into materials, clothings, and in hospitals in sheets. Okay, so where we will be, and then of course the most common is the water disinfection. They've been using it for centuries already, for decades already. They put it in filtration plants to clear the water. So our topic now, let's focus more into air disinfection to improve indoor air quality. Okay, so there's this process here. Okay, we call it ultraviolet germicidal irradiation. Okay, it's a four-step process. Sheldon will explain it to us later, but I think it's based on four key factors. Okay, the four key factors for UVGI germicidal irradiation for air disinfection purposes is, one is pressure, and then the other one is filtration, and then the other one is of course ultraviolet purification, and the fourth one is dilution. So I give you the floor, Sheldon. Can you explain the pressure, filtration, ultraviolet purification, and dilution?
Sure. So actually, to design this, our product is similar. It's a combination of all this aspect of what's called this pressure. So actually, by making a product, this is like a air filter. It's like a air filtration. You suck the air and you filtered it, and you do some irrigation on the air, and you release the air back to the indoor room. So, but actually, it's not that as simple as that. We really considered all the cubic feet air air volume that you need to change in an area to be very effective. And in order to be very effective in changing that air, you need also to consider how many people will be staying in that room. And from that room itself, you need to consider also how much is that your air velocity can suck the air that can leap to the next few meters of to suck all the air from few meters away using the air velocity. So you need to play all this air velocity, air flow going into your chamber, and from your chamber you need also to do proper calculation in order to have a 99.9% of sterilizing the microorganisms. So
Okay, great.
we did a lot of calculations on that, on the airflow, and from that airflow, and it's very challenging because once you have the airflow, it means that you have only a very small time to irradiate the air from the UVC. So we did a lot of study from that in order to sterilize the microorganisms effectively. And after that, putting back into the room. And so you need to have and this product actually also is calculated based on buildings code. I mean, all these building codes of air change, and also by area, how much CFM you required to change the air, and also the applications of the applications of what is this room to be used and how much CFM of air volume do you need to change and how often. So this is it's a combination of all, and also looking into the filters, the pressure drop of the filters. You also need to consider this in your design. So we did a lot of changes, iterations on our fans. Especially fans is very challenging for this, and in our product, which is a very slim, sleek, tiny product, acoustic also is very challenging. So we did a lot of studies on this.
Okay, great. So in layman's term, okay, Sheldon, that is the scientist terminology. But in the layman's term, okay, basically we have an inlet air and an outlet air. Okay, so we suck the dirty air and then we filter it using a MERV 6 or a HEPA filter and a carbon filter. We bring it to the chamber, and on the chamber, they will kill the virus, and then we will bring it back out to the environment, to the space. Okay, so it's easy, right? I mean, you know, it's a no-brainer, but actually it's not that simple. You know, even for us, we did a lot of research and iterations of the product in order for us to get it right. Right, like what Sheldon say, the air, the CFM, the nominal velocity, even the filter that we have to use. We have to select a filter that can really filter dust and dander particles, and then we need to put carbon, so the VOC will also be cleansed and stuff. And then, of course, the secret is behind the ultraviolet chamber. Okay, so what happens is the bacteria will go inside, and then the irradiation happens because of the exposure time. Okay, the exposure time, every bacteria, virus, even coronavirus, the one that causes COVID-19 now, has a certain time to get this killed, okay, or to disable the DNA. Okay, so the airflow is also very crucial. And then, of course, the dilution. That means we have to bring it back. So now it will be a clean air. So basically, it's similar to an air purification process, but because we have a UV light that disinfects, so it's purifier and disinfection. Okay, so let's go to the key benefits. Okay, so what are the benefits if we use this type of UVGI or ultraviolet germicidal irradiation? Okay, basically it improves indoor air quality of environments by eliminating pathogens like virus. Currently, it's definitely the coronavirus. Okay, it's also a virus, bacteria, fungi in the air for up to 4 times per hour. Okay, 4 times per hour. That's the CADR, you know, the clean air delivery rate. That's about 4 times per hour. Okay, so I mean, definitely once you integrate UVGI into an environment, you will improve the indoor air quality. Okay, which is often what I mentioned is often disregarded or forgotten. Okay, so another thing is it eliminates airborne pathogens from landing on surfaces. Okay, what does it mean is, for example, you have to cough or sneeze. Okay, your particles will be airborne. So once it becomes airborne, you know, it lands over into tables, into chairs, or any surface in the floor and stuff. So if you have this UVGI, while it's in the air, okay, if you sneeze or cough or whatever, it will suck. You know, the differential pressure will suck it, clean it, and bring it out. So, of course, it's not 100%, but what I can say is there's a possibility that it will definitely clear that part of the air. So it won't have to land on surfaces. And then the last one is reduce the risk of acquiring disease from carriers or infected persons by continuous air disinfection. Okay? So while you're inside the premises, office, let's say office, home, room, meeting room, restaurant, or whatever, okay, there'll definitely be a lot of people. They cough, they sneeze, or whatever. I mean, So what happens is constantly, if you have more UVGI system into your premises, it automatically cleans the air at a rate of 4 times per hour. Okay, definitely for us we have calculations for this. So this is what we see the key benefits of UVGI. Okay, the air disinfection for in relation to what is happening now is because currently we have to really find ways to tackle this coronavirus infection, to control the spread, so we can live life as per normal. So, of course, besides social distancing, sanitation, this part of indoor air is also a critical portion of the equation. Anything you can add, Sheldon?
Uh, yeah. So actually, this air disinfection actually is, I mean, our body itself can has a way of fighting the germs and the bacteria in us, but too much and too many will make us sick. So actually, I believe that when you really take out all this outer I mean outside part of your body's germs, I mean you clean around, you have a clean surroundings, it makes you well faster. I mean it heals you faster. And this is, has been yeah. So actually some hospitals are implementing some because actually the sun itself has UV, and there's some studies about hospitals uh, having sunlight in the room, and makes the patients heal faster. So I think this would be like the next setup on every office space buildings, that you need to channel some sunlight over the room, or if you don't have that access of sunlight, maybe you just need to clean the air by this UVC.
Yes, great, understood. Currently, now I believe this technology is commonly used already on hospitals and healthcare facilities, right? You
Yes,
can see,
yeah,
yeah, you can see most of this we call it the upper room disinfection in clinics, in operating rooms, especially in America, in the States. In Asia, we're still not yet really implementing a lot of this stuff, but I think now definitely this one have to be considered, right?
yes. Mm.
Yeah. So this is a technology that has been existing. It's all around, But now we have to take it a step further, and integrate it into every commercial space, right? This is the intention of air disinfection now, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I think that's it for that's a brief summary of UVC air disinfection. The process that we described, the key benefits. Let's now go to our product. Let's discuss about our product. Okay. So let's share this. So our product is called the Luminaire. Okay. Why it's luminaire? It's because it's called light plus air. That's why it's called the luminaire. It's light plus air. So the light is the ultraviolet light, and the air is the air that passes through it, and it's being cleaned. So you can see Based on our initial design, it's a pendant lamp. So it's a light fixture with shielded UVGI air purification function. Okay, it's a patent pending technology from us. We submitted it for patent, I think a month and a half ago. It has been submitted patent pending as of April 28th. So that means if they are processing the patent, right, they should have looked into it and they found that there's really no product similar to this type of fixture, right? Because Sheldon is expert in patenting. So he is guiding us through the process of patenting, applications, and stuff like that. So most of the products that we will be doing under UVC, air irradiation, is we will patent the product, okay, with the help of our chief scientist, Sheldon Ruiz. Okay, so let's go inside. So what's the luminaire advantage? A lot of people, whenever I post, this is the one they keep on asking me. Okay, is it harmful? You know, why are you putting UVC? It will hurt our skin. It will hurt our eyes. Okay, so our UVC, the UVC light is shielded. It's a shielded UVC. That means it is enclosed in a chamber. And the chamber is called an irradiation chamber. So you cannot see the light. You cannot touch the light. The light will not hit any part of your skin. It's inside a chamber. It's enclosed. It's wrapped with reflectors. Okay. So all the party, the virus killing is all happening inside this chamber. Okay. The longer the chamber, the better, because of the exposure time. Okay. It takes 0.6 seconds to kill a coronavirus. Okay. Hours can be longer than that. Okay? It's our proprietary calculation. That's why we can say it's longer than that. Okay. So therefore, it avoids contact with the eyes and the skin. So I think this one will be clear to all our viewers that this one is a shielded product. You know, you can see, I will try to bring it back. You cannot see the light even from the vents, okay, on the inlet and the outlet. The light is not allowed to pass through that. Okay. So everything is happening on the part where, on the upper part of the fixture. Okay. So the lower part is a normal flat LED lamp. Okay. So therefore, if it's shielded, it's in a chamber, it is safe to use on occupied spaces. This is the key. It is safe to use on occupied spaces. So that means even in classrooms, okay, even in offices, okay, if they use it in hospital and healthcare facilities, it is safe to use even on homes, okay? So because it's shielded, you're there, you on the light, it's an air purifier and light at the same time. Okay, so the third advantage is it serves as a dual function. That's the good thing. It's a dual function that both serve as a light fixture and an UV air purifier system. If Dyson created a fan with with air purification, they don't have UV. Ours is a lighting fixture that come with an UV air purifier system. So you got 2 in 1, okay? What does it mean? What is the benefit of a 2 in 1 function? 2 in 1 function is perfect for commercial spaces, where a separate air purifier will occupy extra space and operation. I think even our homes, you know, we have an air purifier at our home, but I totally forget it, you know, because it's just there. It's another appliance I need to turn on and off, you know. So one advantage of this being a dual function is once you use the light, okay, the purifier is also on, okay? Or alternatively, you can just use the purifier even without the light on. So that is our that is two functions. But technically, how we design it is once the light is on, the purifier also turns on automatically. And then there's a function that you can turn off the light, but the purifier is still on. Okay? So that is a very smart device. Yeah, our future iterations will have IoT built in. We wanted to do IoT at this point, but the problem is because of the circuit breaker and the lockdowns all over the world, it's quite difficult to source for people who will be doing this at this point in time. So what we intend to do is we will do upgrades of the product moving forward. Okay. So the third, yeah. Anything you need to add, Sheldon?
Yes, actually, I just want to add that actually, this one is like putting air germicidal purifier all around your area. Like if you have a very big area, it's quite challenging to get to to have only one duct. It means that you need to have a very high volume of air to clean at the same at a very fast rate because you have a bigger area. So the only way to distribute it in cleaning to clean the air is to have multiple points of air disinfection all over that bigger area. So actually, this is a very good solution in putting multiple of this air purification on your ceiling with multiple points. Probably
Yeah.
that can cover a certain area. Yeah, just want to add that.
Yes, that's good. And at the same time, I believe that we also designed it as such that the fan can be turned from high to low. That means the CFM, or if you wanted faster purification, you can just turn on a higher fan speed, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so that's another great function. Okay, so the last one is the last advantage is it's hidden from sight. So what it means by it's hidden from sight is, of course, it's a light. If you look at it, it's just a normal light. So you won't notice that, oh, this one is an air purifier at the same time because it's dual function. Like what I say, similar to Dyson, it's just a fan, and then below is their HEPA filter where they suck air and then they pass through their chamber also. They also have a technology chamber like that blows the air, but they don't have any UVC inside. Okay, so that's another key function. It's hidden from sight. That means the air disinfection and purification is always being performed, even without you noticing. That's the key, because later on, even though you're not aware, okay, your air is clean. That's the integral part. That's the key part. That means it's cleaning the air normally. It's all around. It's all the time cleaning the air. So you feel safe. You feel safe and you stay safe. That's one of our taglines. Feel safe and stay safe. Okay, so that's the advantage we find for the Luminaire. Of course, there are a lot more, but these are the key advantage that we identify for now. Anything else you wanted to add, Mr. Sheldon?
Yeah, no, it's fine. Proceed.
Okay, so let's go to the next discussion, which are what are the key components of the Luminaire? Okay, so in the background drawing there, you can see the Luminaire. Okay, that is how it looked like. Okay, on the first pass will be the filter. Okay, so air will pass through a filter, a HEPA filter with a HEPA and a carbon filter combination. So what is the purpose of this HEPA and carbon filter combination? So why you need the HEPA filter is because there are bigger particles in the air. So if you let the bigger particles pass through the preliminary filter, once it goes inside the irradiation chamber, okay, the virus might be hiding on these bigger particles. Okay, that's a layman's explanation. But other than that, there are different. Of course, once you pass through the HEPA filter, there's a big chunk of bacteria, viruses, dust, dander, and things that will already be clean. Okay, so that's the first pass. You have to go through this filter, and then you have to go through the fan, like what Sheldon mentioned. That there's a fan inside. It sucks the air, passes through the filter, go inside the fan. So it's a silent blower. Okay. Under normal operation, it will be very silent. You might not even hear it. But of course, it's like your normal fan, electric fan or whatever fan, even in air cons. If you turn off full power, you can really hear it. Okay, but then that's the trade-off. At least the air disinfection will be faster on a bigger area. Okay, so anything you need to add on this, Sheldon?
Yeah, I mean, just want to add that aside from the fan, the blower itself, we really need to think about the static pressure that can bring velocity and can pass through the static loss of the filter. So
Okay.
this is very crucial. But once you also push the static pressure, you have a strong static pressure. It means you also need to have a strong velocity to push the air faster in the chamber. So this is something that we played inside that to make sure that you have a longer time of irradiation. At the same time, you have a strong static pressure that can pull air from your surroundings. This is very important, especially when you have an open space, like you have an open indoor space that you want to clean, sterilize, and once you sterilize it, then you need to make sure that it can still pull the air from 3 meters away from that system that you have. And this is very important in your air velocity. Once you don't have air velocity, even if you have a negative pressure, going into your system, still the air from 2 meters away, 3 meters away will not go through your system. It will just like circulating air near to your air purifier.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. So that's our CTO's word on the filter and the blower. So we move to the UV light. Okay. So the UV light, what the UV light does is the peak wavelength to kill the viruses, bacteria, and fungi is 253.4 nanometer using high intensity UVC lamp. Okay, it's a 253.4 nanometer high intensity UVC lamp. So for us, we will be using Philips. We are only looking at two brands because this one is very crucial to the effectivity, the efficiency of the fixture of the equipment. So we are using either of the two, Philips or Osram. Okay, so because the light intensity, the UV power is also very important. So we are maximizing. There's some calculation on the air. Okay, there's a calculation on the UV intensity. Okay, and then the UV power. Okay, so inside is called the chamber. So the UV light and the chamber is in one area. Okay, so the chamber will be enclosed with a reflective coated sheet. It's either what we are using currently now is PTFE, okay, or we are using a brand called Alanod. We are looking at using also this one in the future. Okay, so this is the reflective coated chamber is also required to work with UV because UV have a lot of limitations. Even in the plastics, it will become brittle, so even the lamp holder should be UV compliant. So everything should be UV compliant. You cannot just use normal metal, paint and stuff because it will not really be food grade or safe, right? Can you
Yes.
discuss this, Sheldon, on the
Yes.
coating?
Yeah. Actually, reflectors for UV is there are very few materials that can reflect UV effectively. Mostly, you can like aluminum can only reflect UV for 70%. The stainless steel can only reflect UV for 20%. So there's a few materials that can really reflect UV, and there's even Alanod. I've been working with them for a long time, for almost 10 years during lightings. Um, Alanod is very special non-organic materials that can reflect different spectrums of light, and we are talking to them also right now. PTFE is known to be good reflector of UV. It can also have about 90 plus percent of reflectivity. And this is very important and crucial in distributing the irradiation power in the chamber, because you need to have in order to optimize the UV radiation power of your lamp, you need to have a uniform bouncing reflectors inside the chamber. And once you have these reflectors inside, uh, it means that it's more effective in either direction, far away from the lamp or near to the lamp. It can, in either distance, it can kill the microorganisms.
Okay, great, great. So this is the part where, like what I say, all the party begins. All this is called the killing fields, right? This is where all the virus and bacteria are being disabled. Their DNAs are being disabled, so they cannot function. Okay, and then after that, we will bring the clean air back into the surroundings, into the indoor space. So basically, it works specifically like a normal air purifier, except for there is a UVC disinfection element that is added. Okay, because before they just wanted to kill dust and dander. So all of those past air purifiers are just really air purifier for this particular purpose. Okay, but now because of the coronavirus, the pandemic, I think we all learned our lessons. Okay, and learning lessons the hard way, we have to come up with new technologies, new ways, right? So uh, the last part is the airflow. There's a calculated airflow and exposure time, and of course the CADR, clean air delivery rate, which we are also considering. So let's go to the next part, which is the zonal protection factors for non-somical pathogens at room areas. Okay, so this is just a simple table that is created for just to give the architects and the engineers an overview of what is the coverage of a party of this fixture. You know, you can see that as the area widens, the percentage of effectivity goes down. Okay, so I mean, around the fixture is 100% removal. Okay, at 50 square feet, it's 93%. 75 square feet, 92%. 100 square feet, 91% away from the fixture, and then of course the farthest you get 80%. Okay, so that means once we have to design putting multiple fixtures, we also have to consider designing it in such a way that one fixture will not go over and beyond 300 square feet. So that means we will definitely have a lot of effective efficiency. Okay. So of course, for this, it's not something that you install, it's gonna work. Okay. We will do some. We have done some controlled tests in the past to make sure that this is working. Okay. And then for bigger projects, like for if it's a project if it's a project that requires one floor or a few, maybe a whole building, we have to recalculate everything. We have to get the entire floor area, layout and stuff like that, so we can map where we need to put all of those fixtures. So it's just another element like HVAC plus D, like what we say, okay? You know, it's like aircon also, you have to distribute the air, the return air and the supply air all around the space. Like a light, you also have to disperse light, you know, you have to design it. So even UV, even disinfection, you also have to design it as such, okay? But like what I'm telling all my designer or architect friends, you know, now they are considering social distancing, so they need to design bigger space. They need to do this. They need larger areas, bigger space for people to what do you call this, to not be close to each other. I don't see that in the long term. You see, I don't see that happening in the long term. Definitely, once the vaccine is found, you know, and this type of disinfection methods has been implemented, people will start to go back because we are normal human beings. For now, we will adapt to social distancing, but this is not for long. Okay, so this is one permanent factor that we can see that we can use. Okay, so we go to the next one, which is our models. Okay, currently these are the models that are available for the Luminaire. Okay, as you can see from the screen, the available models are the pendant type, the trover type, and the add-on type. Okay, so the pendant type is 1,200 by 950 by 120. You can put it on tabletops, kitchen tops on residences, or bars and bar. And for office, you can put it in reception, can put it in breakout areas, you can put it in meeting areas, you can put it on top of tables, you know, even in the classroom, you can do pendant mount hanging, or you can also do surface. Okay, so there's another, we also have another configuration called the troffer type. So the troffer type is a typical troffer lighting, like the one you see in offices, the one they mount on top of the grid ceiling. Okay, so it's basically just a normal light like that. You 1,200 by 600, okay, and then you put it on top of the ceiling board. But of course, you have to tie it also to the slab. Okay, but this is good for offices, for classrooms, for hospitals, healthcare facilities, uh, any place where there's fixed ceiling, okay, or plaster ceiling. You can even use it hanging. You see, there's a lot of I've been doing offices for office ceilings. They just hang it like that. I mean, you know, so it's easier also to service. Okay, so servicing, definitely you need a professional to service it. Although we have a lot of safety precautions because of the UV integration, you know, automatically, if there will be servicing that needs to be done, once you open the cover, the chamber, the UVC will automatically turn off. So that's another function of safety. Okay. And then that's the troffer type. The troffer type will come into two sizes for the two types of ceiling, which is 1,200 by 600 and the 600 by 600. Okay, so that means you can use it on both sides of the ceiling. Okay, and for the third one is the add-on type. We call it the add-on type is because it is designed without a light. Okay, it's designed without a light. So what you need to do is for companies, for offices that has an existing lighting fixture. Okay, you have a 600, you already have an existing troffer installed. Most of the offices will really have this installed already. So what you just need to do is you just need to add on this air purifier on top of that existing troffer. Okay, so you just need to retrofit. You don't need to do anything else. You just need to retrofit your old lighting fixture, your old troffer type with the add-on type. Okay, so that will help save a lot of cost. This is a very, very good product that we are also working on concurrently, and it will be good for projects that is, I mean, you know, for those who wanted to fit out, or those who already have a fit out, they just wanted to retrofit this fixture. This one is just an air purifier. There's no light. Okay, so basically it's just the UV light on this add-on type purifier, and it just piggybacks into the existing lighting fixture. Anything you wanted to add on my explanation, Sheldon?
No, I think you explained quite good in our products. Is good. Thanks.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So these are the three products that is mostly standalone. That means it's something that it's a standalone product. You can buy it off the shelf through dealers and through project sale through projects. Okay. And our last product in the lineup, of course, we want there will be a lot more moving forward, but we are focused first on these three key products. Okay. The third one is we call it the custom-made solution. This is the custom-made solution. We call it the unitary in-duct system. What is the unitary in-duct system? This is a ducted standalone system which is not connected to the HVAC system. Okay, a lot of our M&E friends and the people in the mechanical and electrical and sanitary fields, all of the mechanical engineers, they definitely know about UVC integrated system integrated with their HVAC, with the aircon, you know, with heaters and stuff like that. So this one is common, okay, the one integrated. But our solution is we are looking more at as a standalone system, not connected to the HVAC system. You see, so it can be installed on areas with high ceilings and large open spaces. Because we cannot install the lighting fixtures on high ceilings. More than 3 meters, it might not be effective, or it will definitely decrease the efficiency of the lighting fixture because of the height. There's a certain height limitation also. See, so for high ceilings and large open spaces like churches, theaters, malls, restaurants with bigger spaces, anything that has large open spaces, we propose to use this custom-made solution, which is the ducted standalone system, which is not connected to the HVAC system. So basically, the function of this system is to just really clean air. Okay, it will just really clean air. Of course, you know, it's good if it's already included into the HVAC system. But why is that type of UVGI not effective enough? Is because of the exposure time. Okay, because of the exposure time. Because once you integrate it with the HVAC system, the CFM, the air is so fast. It blows so fast. It's just a millisecond when it passes through the UVC. Okay, so when it passes through this very fast, it cannot kill the bacteria because there's a certain exposure time for the bacteria and the viruses to be disabled. Okay, so if we just what we need to do is we also need to use the same principle as the one in the lighting fixture, the exact amount, the exact speed of the air, and pass through the chamber and clean the air. Okay, so this is how this custom-made unitary induct system is being designed. Okay, so another thing is it can also be retrofitted on existing space. Okay, so that's a good thing. If you have to include it into your HVAC system, you have to redesign your entire HVAC system. You have to cut down your aircon. You need to cut down your everything. You see, your aircon, your diffusers, your what do you call this? Especially if it's centralized, so you have to work on all of these things, and it might not really be a cost-effective way to do retrofitting for this purpose. So this one is a very very good very good solution moving forward for us after the pandemic. Okay. And the third one is it can be hidden or exposed above ceilings or behind walls. Okay. What we mean by above ceilings is if you're an open ceiling, no problem. You have to run the duct. If it's a closed ceiling, it's the same thing as aircon. You hide it inside the aircon duct also. Okay. So you hide it also on top of the ceiling. One key feature, of course, we are looking at is behind the walls. Okay. Behind the walls is you can put the light at the back of the wall where it will also be entrapped in the chamber. You can suck the air from below and then you can blow it from the top. It's also another way of cleaning from the sides and cleaning from the. It's good that if you can have this unitary induct system at the side, especially for cinemas, churches, and where there's really a lot of people. Because I think based on our study, we also need to calculate the number of occupants in the room, so we can determine the air exchange rate of the space, right? Sheldon, you wanted to add on the unitary induct system?
Yes, so actually this duct system actually it doesn't need to be only one. Doesn't mean you one big space you only need to put one. We need to see how can we design it efficiently to clean the air with a good acoustics, not noisy, and comfortable airflow, and also to kill the germs effectively. So the design will really depend on what's the form factor of that area.
Okay. Yeah. So this one, the way we see it is this one we will definitely need engineers to help us work on this, because this one is more of an engineering solution. So we put this as we have the know-how, we have the technical know-how to implement and integrate this system, but we will definitely need engineers for us to work with, so to do calculations on the space. Okay. So that's a short description of the luminaire. Okay, so this is our tagline for now. Feel safe and stay safe. So our website is www.luminaire.com, and our social media site is facebook.com/luminaire www.luminaire.sg. Okay, so you can see the product after the circuit breaker is lifted. We will have a few products in Singapore once the circuit breaker is lifted. We've been working on it even though with the circuit breaker. Okay, so you will see the product in the 1st of June. It will be ready. So this product will be sent for testing. Okay, we will have TUV-SUD testing for the product. We will have all the certification that is required, the testing that is required, and the documentation that is required to show that the product is safe and effective. Okay, so that's all for the luminaire. Let's just have a short discussion, Sheldon, on
Yes.
air purification for architecture in the future. How do we see the future of luminaire fitting into the new normal narrative after the COVID-19 pandemic? Okay, so how do you see our product in the after once the circuit breaker and all the lockdowns has been lifted? How do you see our product fitting in?
I believe this product will really fit into to the consumer commercial applications, and I believe there will be more of this product going out from the market, and we're happy that a lot of this product will be going out. We cannot be just the only player here. We'll be happy to welcome a lot of players to be doing this, and I believe that there will be a lot of good features on this, like the IoT. So we already have an idea that this IoT will have a connectivity going to the dealers and retailers to prompt them that their product installed in the residential house is having a problem. Maybe it needs replacement of lamp, it needs replacement of filter and other things. And this is a good idea this is a very good idea for IoT to get the data on to get more data on how dusty it is in our environment, and also at the same time it's a very comfortable for a user not to really bother to call the dealers to replace the filter or replace the lamp. It will automatically maybe send an SMS or notification to them. Do you want to change your lamp because it's failing? And the dealers will just come to your house. This is one feature that we are looking to.
Great, yeah. For me, the way I see it fitting in is as an architect, as a designer. I've been seeing a lot of organizations that is talking about building codes, adjusting the building codes, putting spaces also. Our anthropometric data will be changing. Space planning will be changing. Everyone is panicking. I don't know why are they panicking. Are they really worried that this virus will be forever? This will be the new normal and stuff like that? For me, I really don't think so. I think definitely people can forget things very, very fast. Maybe in 2 to 3 years, we will be back to traveling. We will be back to doing a lot of things, as per normal. Okay. But of course, what I see for the immediate future about luminaire and UVC air disinfection is, I think this will be the quick fix. This will be the immediate quick fix I can see. Because one thing is, the virus is airborne, okay? So the virus is airborne. All of the pathogens are going through the air and stuff like that, you see. So it's good that we feel safe in the environment, okay? Instead of you putting spaces away, putting people away from each other. Like I see a lot of reports, news, and stuff like that of people really, they want safe distancing. They say no more meeting rooms. So what will happen to the meeting rooms, to the co-working spaces? to interaction, to everything. It will really, I mean, I don't really think it will happen because, as you can see in the news, after they lift all those lockdown, people start congregating on beaches. People start congregating on parks, you see? Because, I mean, the way I see it is we also have to learn how to live with the virus. We also have to, it's a sickness already that we just have to learn how to live with. That's the bottom line. It's because if we will live scared, I think nothing will happen to us. We cannot move forward. So what we need to do is we just need to put uh what we just need to do is we just need to put extra precautions, like of course we need a bit of social distancing, but not that much. We need to do a lot of sanitation, disinfection, surface disinfection also. But one thing about, of course, using air disinfection like this is it also minimizes the use of harmful chemicals, right? So it's also a good product to have. Okay, so this is one thing also that can help in, definitely that's one big aspect is cleaning the air. Holding the handbars, people coming up with proximity sensors that it will open the door for you. How can you retrofit all doors with with this type of devices, and it's everything is mechanical, and you will you go out, you'll not touch anything? I don't think so, right? So you just have to regularly clean your hands and stuff. But what's important is the air we breathe. This is the most common thing that is always being forgotten. It's the air we breathe. You see, it's very crucial. It's very critical, and that's why we come up with the solution with the add-on purifier. Is there will be a retrofitting. It will ourselves by cleaning the air. Okay, so this is how I can see that it will progress. Okay, so another thing is, I think in our building code there will be HVAC plus D, heating, ventilating, air conditioning plus disinfection. This is a bold prediction that I can see. Sure, engineers, architects, people will talk about disinfection, indoor air quality, 100%. Once people are all out, the lockdown is eased, circuit breaker is eased, people will start to go back to their offices, architects, engineers will start sitting down, and then this element will be a very, very crucial part of the design process already, you know and the MEPS people, the mechanical, electrical, plumbing, sanitary, because different countries they call it differently. HVAC, MEPS, So all of these professionals, once they are together, they will start considering disinfection as another key element of the process. Okay, so besides this, for the last thing that we can talk about is what is your bold prediction for air purification? Can air purification be integrated with surface purification? Like, maybe what we can do is moving forward is we use a blue light at night, maybe 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. It will open, and then use UV light to
Yeah.
disinfect
Yes. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I mean, we have thought about this idea, and we're also exploring far UVC instead of normal UVC to implement on this. I mean, it's not that far UVC is known, but we need more data that is not that harmful to our skin and to our eyes. And it range this far UVC is about 200 to 222 nanometer, and but I mean, it consists about the 30% on the microorganisms absorption. So it's not that harm. It takes a it means that it takes a longer time for this microorganisms to absorb in order to be effective. So anyway, if you have a longer time to dosage on that area to radiate that far UVC, it could still be could still clean the it could still be used it could be useful for surface cleaning rather
Yeah.
than using also UVC and on for what call this surface disinfection, which is very hazardous to us right now, to our skin, to our eyes.
Okay. Yeah, great. Yeah, so I think that's it. So most of the things we already covered for UVC air disinfection. So let's wrap it up for tonight, Sheldon. Thank you very much for
Yes,
your time, sitting down with us and giving your side of the story as the CTO, as one of the key inventors of the Luminaire. Okay. Hope uh, or our product will be a success.
yeah,
Okay. And like what I say, people will you can see you can start see we will in our Facebook site we send updates of what's going on in our production process. We document in if you go to our Luminaire Facebook page, you can see really how we started from the first few meetings up to the concept development, the working model development, up to the working model completed, up to the prototype. You know, now the prototype is being developed in China because you know we're all in circuit breaker mode in Singapore. Nothing can be done, so we have no choice but to send it to China for a prototype. Okay, so you can follow us on Facebook. You can see how the process, what's our process, what's our progress. Sorry, and hope to see you next week when we are talking about social digital marketing and social media selling for architects, interior designers. Our guest will be Eugene Tan, the SEO king of Singapore. Eugene Tan, you know, he's really a well-known digital marketer. We will talk about how architects and interior designers can leverage on the power of digital media and social media to sell their products and services. So that's all for tonight. Uh, Sheldon, thank you again. So good night to
okay.
our viewers of the Office Designer Todd Talk Online series. This is our episode 3. We decided to do every episode every Friday because initially I was thinking of 2 times a week, but it's very taxing to find topics and also to find time because besides the Office Designer, we are also working on Luminaire. Okay, so thank you very much for your time again, Sheldon. Good night,
Yep.
everybody.
Night.
Stay safe, okay,
Night.
and stay sane. Bye.